Hey everyone, what's up, my leets and my nerds out there? We're gonna get into part 2 of Hero Forge's TOS, the TOS from the Abyss. But before we do, if this is your first time coming to the channel, first let me welcome you here. This is RPG Elite. This is the place where we put the RP back into tabletop RPG. And how we do this is by giving you tools, tips, tutorials, and real talk and commentary about the tabletop RPG space and culture, which is really what we're doing today. We're kind of combining two of them. We're doing some commentary on a tool. So you got a double whammy today. Before we get into today's video, I just want to preface this and then kind of move on. I hate that I have to do this, but I will. So there are some people who are complaining about my comments about the last video in this series. Now, this will be the last video I ever do on Hero Forge. But there are some people who did make basic accusations about my motivations for making the video and all the rest of this. So I'm going to say this about as direct as I can. Those of you who come to the channel on a regular basis, who know who I'm about, know what I'm about, know that I'm WYSIWYG and this is me. This is just how it's going to be. I don't mind people coming to the channel having differing views and disagreeing on my criticisms. That's fine. But do not come here and make baseless claims and accusations and these veiled ad hominem attacks against me and my character or anybody else on this channel. Just know this, okay? I don't know you and I don't care about your feelings. Now, this is not for everybody, obviously, just for these individuals who want to try to come onto my channel and do this. I don't care about you because I don't know you, okay? You are less than zero in terms of importance in my life. So do not think for a second that you can come onto my channel and say some disparaging comments about me and make some innuendos about why I do things or who I am and everything, and then make me care. And I don't do drama. I'm not going to go back and forth with you on these things. What I'm going to do is end it. See, that's how I deal with drama. I just end it. And then we're just going to move on. This channel is for individuals who can disagree with things and then just kind of move on. So if you cannot do that, you feel that you need to start making pokes and attacks at people, I'm not going to have that. If you want to disagree with me, do that. Do that all day. That's dope. It's good to get those different viewpoints out there. That's good. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to change my mind, but hey, it's still good to get, that's what the comments are for. Get it out. But do not make disparaging comments about my character or anybody else's character on here. Do not do that, because I will just end our relationship and you will never see me again. And I won't even lose one blink of sleep over it. Because again, I don't care about your feelings because I don't know you. So that is where we have to be on that. It's unfortunate that I have to say things like that, but every once in a while you get some people who trying to get jiggy on here and I have to shut it down. So let's get into what we're going to talk about today on how you can use Hero Forge. So last week we took a look at Hero Forge's terms of service, and that it is crazy. It is an overreach. It's egregious. It's just too much. It is way, way too much. In looking at that, we saw how they want to own like everything. And it's like, really? Hold up, just time out, pump the brakes a little bit.
Why so serious?
They're so serious, and I don't know if you caught this in my last video, they're so serious that they repeated the same word twice in the same paragraph because they're trying to cover every little detail. And you gotta sit back and go, what's up with that? Now, why are we doing all of this? Now, of course, they've got to, just like anyone who is in business, they got to protect themselves. That's understandable. I actually said that in the last video. On the first part, it was totally understandable. You got to protect yourself. You're in business to make money. You don't want people to go off and abuse what you've created. That's fine. Totally dig that. Respect that. Go ahead, do your thing. But when you're overreaching to the point to where you're trying to cover every little nuance and have it extend outside of their website, extend into areas that it shouldn't even be extended into, well, then we have a problem, Houston. And that is what I talked about last week. And this is after they have edited their terms of service. Listen, this is not the first time that this has come up. I'm not the one that came up with this. This was years ago. And so they had to come out and clarify it. And when you have to come out and clarify your terms of service because it's got everybody else alarmed, all right, well, then there's an issue there. And then there's an issue that when you edit your terms of service, but then you don't put in the clarification that you explained outside of it, but you pretty much keep everything the same, well, you can still see why people will be like, yo, you still on this? So yes, it is an overreach and it is egregious. From what I was talking about last week, you shouldn't use it for that particular purpose. If you have not seen that video, go ahead. The link is going to be in the description below. Here is the thumbnail, and go there and take a look at what I'm talking about. Now, let's say you don't plan on using it for the reasons that I laid out in the last video. Okay, do you really want to give up control and ownership to somebody who they can make money on it, but you can't? You'd have to ask permission from them to be able to do it. That's what's crazy. Here's another thing. There's no guarantee in the terms of service. They don't even mention that they'll even give you credit for creating it. So you're just like a nobody really in the whole scheme of things, even though it came from your creative mind to put those assets together in that particular way and to do it in that particular instance. Do you really want to give that to a company that does that? I think it says something about the company. Shoot, I know it says something about the company. I mean, when you have to reach that far and start giving all kinds of these heavy-handed details and everything, I'm not saying that this is the case. I'm saying this is what it looks like. It looks like you don't trust your customers. Now, you probably are saying, oh, no, that's not it. And I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying that's what it looks like. And then as a customer, and I'm looking at it, I'm going, dang, I ain't even done nothing. I'm just trying to use the service. Why you going all ham like that? That's why not only me, but there were other people, and you can look at some of the comments in the last video where they're like, yeah, the terms of service scared them into not using the product. Yeah, so probably want to change the terms of service again to actually use the clarification that you gave. But hey, who am I? I'm nobody over here. But let's move on. So what are the chances? What are the chances that Hero Forge, Sky Castle Studios, they're going to come after you because of this, that, and the third of a portrait or a token or a miniature or whatever that you, what are the chances? Who knows? Don't know what the chances are. I mean, to me, if I'm looking at the terms of service, I'm like, well, dang, they look like they're getting ready to come and drop the hammer on you if you do anything. What it looks like. And when it looks like that, this will more likely scare some people away from using the service. But don't do that just yet. Now, even though I, as a content creator, have to ask them to make a tutorial about Hero Forge on my channel, and then probably have to demonetize it, and that's never going to happen. So I'm never making a tutorial. This is business for me. All right. So if they don't want the publicity, fine, won't give it to them. However, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater here. Here is where you can actually use Hero Forge, which is what most would be using it for. One purpose: to create creatures. When you look at their new community beta that they have going on over at the website, that is what most of it is. It's mostly creatures. It's not original characters that others are making. It's creatures. And I'm telling you right now, that is where you can go ham, especially if you do virtual tabletops. I personally use Hero Forge not for the actual miniatures themselves. I don't use it for that. What I use it for is for the 2D and actually the 3D top-down tokens specifically. That's all I use it for virtual tabletops. For $5.99, it's unlimited. You can make as many as you can get in within the month, because it's $5.99 a month, $4.99 for 3 months, and then I think $3.99 if you pay for like 12 months in advance. All of that you have to pay for in advance. But for different kinds of creatures, oh, this is the bomb. This is the bomb. Even though the terms of service is from the pit of hell and it smells like smoke, this for creatures in your tabletop campaign is gonna do it for you if you take the time to create the creatures. I'll give you an example. A lot of you know that I have a One Ring campaign that I run bi-weekly. It has all of your basic creatures for your fantasy setting. Even though it's low fantasy, it still has all the basic creatures. So it has your goblins, it has your orcs, it has your trolls, your wights, your vampires, all of that. So you can go to Hero Forge if you're doing this virtual tabletop. Again, I'm just talking about virtual tabletop. You can create one token and then create a different pose and then create a different color or a different kind of troll, cave troll, hill troll, mountain troll. And you can create them in a whole lot of different ways. And it can just be generic. So here's a cave troll from the One Ring first edition. I wish I could put him side by side with the cave troll that I made in Hero Forge. However, can't do it because of the terms of service. What I will do is just tell you that how I made the cave troll is with the same things, like the big blade right there, the wrist thing on his left wrist, the shoulder thing on the right, the head thing. Now it's not exact, but you get the gist of it when you're looking at the token. Now, when my players will hover over that token, they'll see this image, but the actual token itself is made in Hero Forge. And you can do this all day. I mean, there's so many different kinds. You can make the cave troll with an axe, cave troll with a spear, cave troll with a club, cave troll with a sword, like in this case. And then you can make them with different postures, different poses, and you can go ham. And for $5.99, oh yeah, this is a no-brainer. As a GM, if this is what you need, you can just do this for 1 month. That's a 1 month subscription. If you want to do it for 3 months, like I said, it's $4.99, and then 12 months is $3.99. If you want that, you can go down in the link in the description below and you can click on that and get it. But even if you just do this for 1 month and you do like 30 tokens, it's well worth it. What is that? 20 cents? Something like that? That's well worth it, dude. That is well worth the money. Now, there are some people, when it comes to the actual miniatures themselves, again, I only use it for the top-down 3D tokens for the virtual tabletop. But if you're talking about the files, or you're talking about the actual packages and tokens themselves, okay, your mileage may vary on that. They've got a special going on right now that if you order some miniatures from them and you put in the code LOOTDROP, it's all one word, LOOTDROP, then you'll get like, I think $5 off. Then for the STL files, they're $3.99, and it's only going to be, I think, until the 28th of November at the recording of this video, and you don't need a code for that. But again, your mileage is going to vary. I had one person who I was reading the comments, they said they ordered one from Hero Forge, the thing dropped off the table, hit the floor, and it broke on the carpet.
Emotional, damn it!
I'm sorry. Every time I look at that and just think of that in my head, I'm just like going, it's just like broken habits that they never buy anything. That was like one of two people. Now the other one said that, I don't know whether it was on the carpet or not, but they said that that's what happened. They're saying that the materials they use are subpar. And I've had more than one person say that in the comments. You guys can go and check them out yourself. And there's some people who say that, hey, it's too pricey. Now would probably be a good time to kind of test them out to see, because they brought the price down a little bit. But you also got to keep this in mind. This is just the thing to keep in mind. These guys are giving you custom tokens. These are custom tokens, and anytime you customize something, you'll be paying a little bit more for it. So just keep that in mind. Now, I would love to have shown you a tutorial on this, but I'm not. I have been waiting for now 2 weeks for them to reply to my request. They have not. So my assumption is that either somebody came over from here and told them that I was doing these videos and they're just going to take their sweet time. And at this point, even if they said yes, I wouldn't do it. Just because at this point, we're just going to move on. So this is the last video I'll be creating for Hero Forge. So there's a plus and a minus side to it, and I just want to let you guys know both sides. So here's a question of the vid. If you were to use Hero Forge, what primarily would you be using it for? 2D tokens, 3D top-down tokens, for the files so you can print them out yourself because you have your own 3D printer, or for the actual miniatures that you would create and then order from Hero Forge? What would you be using it for? Give me your first and second choices there, and let me know down in the comments below. So if you enjoyed this video and kind of like what you're seeing here on the channel, don't forget to crush the like button and show me some YouTube algorithm love. And if you want to stick around, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That's going to do it for me. I am going to get out of here. I got to prepare for this weekend. Yes, I prepare for the weekend early in the week, so I'll just be ready to go. So, my brother, you know what he's got to do.
So exit, stage left.
Until next time, y'all, take a look at these videos right here, and I got to say, peace. 5,000 leets, I am outie.